You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
Can I come and play for you? This is what I wanna do for you. Yeah. See, I don't wanna waste your time, but you've been running often through my mind. So can I play on and on and on? 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 Let me play it in your head. Take some time, relax, you know I'm here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wanna move you. Yeah, I wanna see you. Right, yeah. Wanna serenade you. Play these strings for you. It's all I really wanna do for you. So can I play this song for you? Wanna blow your mind in all the night. Ooh, 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 yeah. Oh, oh. Yeah. Can I? Girl, I know you're here. Girl, just come near. Let me play them softly in your ear. Oh, I won't move you. Girl, I'm gonna do you right here. I'm playing it nice and slow for you. Whatever you want, just say I'll do. Oh, yeah. Play on and on and on. Can I play on and on and on? Can I play on and on and on? Can I play on and on? Can I play on and on and on? Can I play on and on? Yeah. Come on. Yeah, I wanna see you.
Of night soon be gone. Morning light will bring the dawn. When your night's as bright as day, you will know you're on your way. Turn around, you will find endless beauty of your mind. Plant the seed and watch it grow. Now is the time to let your troubles go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let your troubles wash by my faith, the mountain moves. Without your love, what does that prove? All the clever words of truth don't mean a thing if I ain't got you. I need you here, hope you'd see. I dream that you'd be here with me. Hope to find I need to know. Show me the way to let my trouble go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Let the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Now's the time to make things right. Don't give up, keep up the fight. You'll be safe all through the night. When you wake up to the morning light, turn around and you will see what it feels like to be free, 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 free. Let it wash away from you. Let
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of
up or where I flow. What's that to you? Twist it out, roll it up or wear it long. Braid it down, straighten it out with a flattening comb. What's that to you? That's what he wants. I was born to stand out from the crowd. Don't you bother with me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Free to be me. I was born for this moment. A design set just for me. I'm strategically planted to fulfill my destiny. If I choose to wear purple, green, or gray, or white when it's not a sunny day, what's that to you? And I choose to drive a fancy car, or an old one I pray will get me far, what's that to you? That's what he wants. What he wants. I was born to stand out from the crowd. Don't you bother with me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Free to be me. Free to be me. I understand the pressure to measure up. Don't let them set your center. You're in God's love. Go against the grain. He'll show you the way. You don't have to settle for less, for less. No matter what, don't matter what. You were born to stand out from the crowd. As long as he's pleased, you have to be. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. That's what he wants. you can reach the sky. Just open your eyes. Never be afraid to love. Never be afraid to just be. You gotta cast away the chains of doubt and have the courage to be free. Don't cloud your eyes with others' lies. Say only what you wanna see. Just duplicate this simple truth. Have the courage to be free. Open your eyes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. You can fly. Open your eyes, yes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. You can fly. Never be afraid to love. No, 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 no. Never be afraid to just be. Gotta cast away those chains of doubt and have the courage to be free. Don't close your eyes with all their lies. Say only what you wanna see. Just duplicate this simple truth. Have the courage to be free. Open your eyes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. You can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. Open your eyes, you can fly. You can fly.
I just sipped some water.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Indie Live Spot. Glad you guys could tune in today. Hope y'all are having a great weekend so far, and thanks again for coming and hanging out with us. And today we're very, very excited about our hangout buddy here, Mr. Vaughn Coulter is in the house. Vaughn, what's
All right, welcome.
going on, man?
All right, Vaughn.
Hello. How's everybody doing today on this Saturday afternoon?
Man,
Hope everybody's doing well. And it's
Yeah.
a pleasure being here with you guys. Oh my gosh. We've established a bit of a tight relationship over the last few months. So
Yeah.
I am quite pleased to be here and discuss whatever y'all have on your minds today.
yeah.
And especially music, if we want to talk about that as well.
No
Well,
doubt about
one
it.
thing I think what the audience need to know, Vaughn is a prominent actor, and he played in several different movies. But I'm gonna let Vaughn tell you who all the what movies he.
I'm sorry. Go for it, Vaughn. My favorite
Okay.
drum line.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I got to, this to be honest with you, I'm up in age and I don't remember a lot of stuff, but I'll try. Let's see. Let's go back to some Into the Heat of the Night episodes early on. That's when the film industry really started to make its mark here in Georgia, and from there I went to other small syndicated shows like I'll Fly Away, and I think it was a TV show called Savannah, and I hit my stride just at the beginnings of that period because I had an audition for a very, very well-received and highly acclaimed made-for-TV movie on HBO called Miss Evers' Boys.
I remember that.
And it had a great cast led by Alfred Woodard, Lawrence Fishburne, Joe Morton, Craig Sheffer, just a marvelous cast. And I was fortunate enough to have that be my first foray into like really the big time. And so, working alongside of people like Alfred Woodard and Fishburne and Joe Morton really set a tone for me. And I only knew at that point I had to not settle in, thinking that this was going to be the final one for me, the first and final one. So I just kept improving. I kept studying. I kept enjoying what I was doing. And I immersed myself in the craft of acting, not only just from the craft work that entails, but also from the history of the medium itself. So, you go back and find out, what made people like Humphrey Bogart and Jimmy Stewart and James Dean and Marlon Brando, what made them so great? So I started studying the craft of acting from the teachers, Stanislavski and Stanford Meisner, and the list goes on and on. And, the work started coming more. Got to work with Angela Bassett on the Rosa Parks story. Got to work with Cicely Tyson 3 times.
Nice.
Ossie Davis. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. And I've worked with Tyler Perry on one of his shows. And so, acting wasn't anything that I was doing, because I grew up in California, by the way. I grew up in Compton, California. And acting never was part of what I wanted to be, because what I wanted to be was, at the time, I wanted to be in radio. And I was a radio broadcaster in college. Had a show on LA City College's radio station, KDON. And also immersed myself in other aspects of broadcasting. I became a play-by-play announcer in football team, and did the same thing for baseball. And and then I enjoyed interviewing people. I enjoyed doing the news. My heroes at the time were Max Robinson and Brian Gumble. And so I really, really learned the craft from these people. And I moved to Atlanta shortly around 1983. I transferred to Morris Brown College, an HBCU, and my life has never been the same since. And
did it for you then.
yeah, exactly. And just took it from there, and began to immerse myself. Trying to get in radio from, while I was acting at the same time, and nothing ever came through fruition. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I met a gentleman who was who's become a pioneer in internet radio. His name is Daryl Davis, and Daryl Davis went to L.A. City College when I was there at the same time, but we never met each other while we were there. So when we met, who currently lives in Atlanta, by the way, Daryl lives here, and when we met, we had no idea both of us went to the same school, and so I found out he had a radio station. He was looking for talent, and I said, "My gosh, really? Okay." So this is an opportunity I cannot miss out on. And so at Jazz Beach Radio for the last, it's going on a little more than 5.5 years now. And he's given me the opportunity to be able to bring to the world this music that I have been loving since I was a teenager, around 13 years old. And there's nothing been like jazz to me. Although I also grew up around R&B and soul and classical music and all types of music, really, reggae, bossa nova, Afro beats, all of these different sounds that I've heard before. But jazz was just that foundation for me. I just didn't know what to do with myself. It was just one of those art forms that change who I am. But I didn't just learn the music. I learned about the players that did it, from Armstrong to Ellington to Basie to Monk to Coltrane to Charlie Parker to Miles Davis. My gosh, Cannonball Adderley, you name it. And there was also this other mixtures of certain aspects of jazz that came out. The format of the Quiet Storm, I remember very well.
Right.
It really set the tone for that, what I call that hybrid form of jazz that had that mixture of soul and R&B, and vocalists became a little more, had a greater impact on me at the time. To this day, I still think, in my mind, the greatest female vocalist I have ever heard is Phyllis Hyman. And so from that point on, you find out about Angela Bofield, Jean Carn, Dee Dee Bridgewater. The list goes on and on. These women that just, I was immersed in what they were doing, and the sounds that were coming out of, Washington D.C. with Donald Byrd teaching there, and the Blackbirds, and Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack, and you had the sound of Los Angeles with Fatburger, and out of the West Coast with Tower of Power, and it goes on and on. I can go on all day about this. If y'all want to cut me off, just let me know.
Well, see, I already know. I know how you can go. We got two people in there. You can't get a word in edgewise.
Look, Matt let you talk. That's amazing.
But yeah, Von, give me a little synopsis how me and you met and what we're doing together.
It was interesting. Ed and I, we well, I'll put it this way. When I joined, when I came upon the National African American Jazz Legacy Museum project, I particularly wasn't sure if it was anything I was going to be interested in doing, and because I really didn't know what my capacity would be. But I knew jazz was, and I've always been an advocate for jazz, and I have always been a proponent of it being put back in the position of having some recognition and relevancy in American music again. Because it is truly the most underserved genre of music in the country.
Yeah.
Beside that of blues, and the blues is pretty much in the same pocket we are. So I met Ed on one of the Zoom calls, And we had spoke prior to that, by the way, and he said that he knew Daryl Davis very well, and he explained to me his history of what he knows about the business, and I was like, who is this guy here? And so, and he had that personality, like like one of those fun-loving, happy-go-lucky guys. And and then he had this kind of, like, I want to say, gruff exterior to him, but he was interesting to talk to because he knew he knew about how to put a radio station together. He's been at it for 20 plus years. And I said, well, if I'm going to learn this, I need to tie up with this guy. Um, so he knows some people in Atlanta, and he came through, but we didn't get a chance to meet then. But then when we had our first symposium, um, what was that, 2021 or Ed, or was that 2020?
Well, I can't remember. Shoot, I done slept 4 times since then.
Ain't that the truth?
So,
He sees
I came through. I said, well, we'll meet, we'll get together. And we had a symposium and we hung out. And he showed me a lot of what was going on in Oklahoma City. Got to meet some of the musicians there, which was a treat. Um, got to see the what Maurice Johnson can do on the guitar. I really was thrown away about that.
Hmm.
And just the family atmosphere. And so I knew at that point that I was destined to be part of this group. Um, because you're talking to a guy who basically has been preparing himself for this journey all his life. Because all I know is the media. All I've watched was the media. All I studied about was the media. From film, television, radio, even publishing.
Hmm.
I mean, it's amazing that this is my journey. And just working with Ed has just been it's been an educational experience, not just in radio, but in life. You know, um, and I'm a true believer that the Creator brings people like this into your life. They bring he has you cross paths with people that can tell you things and show you things that can only make you the better person than you were the day before, or life's moments, and help you get through those troubled times. And so that's how I look at how I met Ed and what he means to me right now, because I don't think I would have been in this game this far if it hadn't for me not meeting him. So all I can say is I ain't ready to give you your flowers yet, Ed. So you can just calm down about that.
Oh well, I was waiting on him. I was waiting. I was damn sure waiting on him.
Oh no, Mac, your head is really. I don't know if it'll fit the screen anymore.
I know.
Yeah, he's floating.
Right,
He's
that sounds
floating.
really.
After myself and Vaughn got to really talking and the things, and I knew that I was going to build this radio station for the museum, and do all the technical part, and which Gary is more of the artist part, the graphic artist part of it, put those elements together. But we also need a program director, and that knew the music like the back of his hand. So I asked Vaughn, will he like to do this? And Vaughn said, well, sure, we can do this. So he's been down to Oklahoma, been here, stayed with me in Fort Worth, been out there 3 or 4 times. So, uh, run up there, do what we do, and put it all together. Now the radio station's up and going. Now, only thing we got to do now is start making sure we got everything scheduled from bebop to straight ahead or whatever, and put commercial spots in the whole 9 yards into the thing. So that's his function. But Vaughn has met a lot of people like Dr. Sanders uh, through this organization. Uh, I think it was in September. Excuse me. He was in September. He went to a symposium in
Hmm.
in Mississippi, and about that same time, I was in a symposium in Miami of museums. The whole thing was all about museums and things like that. So get a very knowledgeable how this museum is going to work, how the mechanics of the museum is going to go. Um, um, So, I'm gonna let Vaughn, then I can come back and talk a little bit more. But I'm gonna let Vaughn tell you about the symposium that he was in Mississippi with Dr. Sanders.
It, it it truly was one of the most, I can say, it was life changing for me. It was life changing, um, because the way I look at music, three sections that have really created the foundation for the structure of American music, popular music, was came from that nucleus that lies within in Black America, and I'm not shaving nothing off of that. I'm going to tell the truth. Um, Black Americans have literally built the structure for what is known as popular music in America, and it lies in three categories: spirituals, jazz, and blues. Um, and just to quote our motto from the museum, it was literally built from the belly of the slave ship. Um, so going to the Delta for the symposium, because that's where we were, in the heart of the Delta, and it was like, it was a life altering situation for me, because I got to be in the bed of the birth of the blues, right there. Um, and you get to meet all of these people that are part of the heritage of Mississippi, and it boils down to where Mississippians have been through a great deal of pain and misfortune, because today it is still the most poorest state in the United States. And but that's one of those states that people love where they are,
Yeah.
and they don't shy away from their love for where they grew up at, and how the culture has made them who they are. And I met a guy who has been the mayor of, I think it's Greenwood, Mississippi, or Greenville. I don't want to make anybody mad from Mississippi, but excuse me. I just want to say he's been the mayor in that town for over 20 plus years. I said, well, how did that happen? How do you become a mayor of a town for 20 plus years? He said, well, did nobody else want the job? So
Yeah, right.
I went with that. And he's the kind of guy that goes out in the community. He gets in his car, his truck, or whatever, and he drives into the neighborhoods and knocks on the door and asks everybody how they're doing. Everything good? He's checking in with them. And he's been doing this for 20 plus years. And I said, wow, this is amazing. In this day and time, what politician does that?
That actually can.
So I'm just looking at it like, and then, you hear these other stories that go on. And during the symposium, they had PowerPoint presentations, and they showed videos of people who have done documentaries. And I expressed this to a friend of mine just recently. I said, there's a lot of pain still in Mississippi, because you can tell by everybody still reliving the experience of Emmett Till. And so um, it was quietly profound, and the statements and the voices that were heard during the symposium was quite powerful. Um, I met a lot of very, very well versed people in musicology, scholars and have doctorates in music. And so I at that point I said, this is the best thing, this piece of education I've received in 20 years, but it just wasn't long enough. So I'm like this. I'm in it to win it. I'm not going anywhere. And like I told Dr. Sanders, I said, man, if you got anything that you need for me to do, just give me a call. You will have my voice at your disposal. And you build up these kind of relationships with these people, and you just know they'll go on forever. You know, because we have the same thing in common: our love for this music, our culture, and who we are as a people, and the impact we have made on the world.
Let me say this, Vaughn, before you go any further. We have changed the name of jazz. It's called now Black
Yes, we have.
Classical Music.
Hmm.
American Black
Hmm.
Classical Music.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. That's the corn phrase now. You can still say jazz, but actually it's classical music.
Yep. Yep. And it cannot be denied who it was created by. There's no more denial in that. And I'll go toe to toe with anybody about what that means.
And
And
there's
so
still some people who don't know that, though. I
say
went
that
to
again, Joyce.
there's still some people who are not aware. When I went to hear, it was a traditional jazz concert, not smooth jazz, but traditional jazz. And
Hmm.
part of Gabe's performance was to give some history about some of the
Hmm.
songs and attributing to, Black American art form. And there was a little mixer afterwards. And he was amazed. He came to our table and he said, an older gentleman, probably 70s, 80s, said he had no idea that jazz originated in the Black community. And everybody at the
Wow.
table, we were like dumbfounded, like he didn't know. How do you not know that? But you mentioned, now that I have your attention, about blues and jazz and spiritual music, gospel. What about rock and roll, though? The origination of rock and roll.
Well, it's funny you used to say that because rock and roll isn't any more than just boogie woogie. That's all it is.
Hmm.
Boogie woogie was played in those juke joints in the deep South during the 1940s. You had Oscar Peterson, you had Bud Powell, you had uh, um, uh, uh, Jelly Roll Morton. All of them played boogie woogie long before rock and roll was even thought of.
Hmm.
You
Go,
know,
Johnny,
It-
go.
exactly, exactly. And
Hmm.
you see, it's we as musicians, a lot of a lot of it during that time period, a lot of these cats couldn't read. They couldn't read
Right.
music,
Hmm.
but it came from them through the spirit. It was the gift, and they played from their souls. They played from their spirits, and of course, in those in who are the folks in power, took a couple of trips down south and started recording that stuff without anybody knowing, and took it back up to cities like New York and Chicago, and said, "Look what I found." And you know, the rest of the story.
Yeah. Right.
So, but it stands to reason that we knew what we had, but then again, we didn't know what we had.
Right.
you
Well,
know,
because remember, jazz when it originated, it was looked upon as like hip hop is today, gangsta rap or something. They were
well,
frowning
yeah,
on
I
it.
mean, yeah, you're
And
right.
then
Yeah,
later
because it was born.
on, now
Yeah.
it's sophisticated, it's class to go to traditional jazz, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's in every
Yeah.
music university. When I majored in music, jazz studies, and guess who we studied? Those same guys who were frowned upon
Mm-hmm.
when they were originating uh, the music. So, and it's
Yeah.
funny how that happens, because when they said, "Oh, we don't want that. That's not real jazz. That's not real jazz."
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know what real jazz is? Because just like classical music, medieval doesn't sound like Baroque period, and Baroque doesn't sound like classical period. You know what I mean? It has the right to
Exactly.
evolve, just like any other musical art form, and create our creative
Indeed.
minds are as such that our culture, we might be writing classical music, but if you grew up on R&B and jazz, that would influence your writing. You cannot help that. But then you have some critics who, well, that's not that. That's, well, how do you know? You know what I mean? Everything evolves. And now we have smooth jazz. Now that I mentioned smooth jazz as a radio personality, tell us what you think about the smooth
Mm-hmm.
jazz popularity, or lack thereof. Because when there was a period of time, every major city had a smooth jazz station, and here in Dallas, it's been gone for like 10, 15 years, and everybody was disappointed. So,
Mm-hmm.
being in the radio business, can you elaborate on that? Uh-oh, you
Um,
got quiet.
I could say this, and I love you asking me that question, because I have to go back to the the mid 1970s, um, and the gentleman out of New York, out of Washington D.C. Um, I think his last name was Lindsay, um, who created the moniker of the Quiet Storm,
Okay.
um, at WHUR at Howard University. Um, at the time that came out, growing up in Los Angeles, there was a radio station called KGLH, which was owned by a guy who had a funeral home. His name was John Lamar Hill, and they were doing the same thing, where you could hear the classics, anything by Miles Davis, backed up by Norman Connors, backed up by Donald Byrd, backed up by Margie Joseph, and and but it just they combine that. But the thing about it is, Joyce, it's like, how can there is no separation. There's no delineation between the genres. They're all the tissue is all meshed together. To separate them, and I'm going to go, because I know you're speaking about the purist who have a tendency to, poo-poo smooth jazz because there is no improvisation. But if you go back to the 1960s, Ramsey Lewis was doing smooth jazz. What do you think his version of the in crowd was? you know, he, he was doing call and response in that live version of the in crowd during the recording of it. Because he was inspiring the audience to participate in it, and he brought it to them, which meant jazz is there's no limit to what jazz can do.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't put boundaries on it. It invades everybody's territory. I have a friend of mine. I have a podcast I do in Atlanta. He's a wonderful musician. He's a legendary musician in the city of Atlanta, and he's a marvelous bassist. And his name is Edwin Williams. And we have a podcast called Yes, Jazz Matters. And he's very, very honest and truthful about, the music, because he's been a musician for over 20, all his life.
Yeah.
And so He lays it down like this: there's nothing new under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
This music's been around for over 100 years. And he says, nothing impresses me except with the exception of the music evolving. That impresses him.
Mm.
But anything else, he said, you want to impress me? Create the 13th note. Then you've done something.
Mm.
Because we've had 12 notes in the music scale.
Right.
And if you have done everything by now, you can't make, there's no improving on anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about the evolution of the music at this point, and there's nothing wrong with smooth jazz. There's nothing wrong with it. I just call it instrumental R&B.
Yep.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
It's
true.
just instrumental R&B,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have these cats that come out, these young guys, who I think I was having a conversation with Gary about this. I think on yesterday, I was telling him about the Soulquarians.
Mm-hmm.
When they developed this style of mixtures of sampling classic jazz and and changing, modifying the tempo of the beat and adding some stuff in from the drum machine or what have you, and utilizing technology and making what they call a vibe
Right.
with chord changes and all of this, and all of a sudden they lay some vocals on top of it, and then you have classics by Erica Badu, D'Angelo, and several other voices out there from the neo soul world, and it's amazing stuff. And I don't shy away from that either because I love the evolution of the music.
Right.
And over time, what I've realized is that over the last 25 years, there hasn't been anything that evolved as much as jazz. I can't say the same thing for hip hop. I can't say the same thing for rap because there is no evolving of that music. It's all repetitious. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless they understand what phrasing is, or if they understand what it is to change the beat, or 5/4 time, or 7/8 time, all of the different time changes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they really want to evolve the art form, learn something about the music.
Yeah.
Learn something about how to write and compose. I think that there's a possibility for all of that happening. But they've gotten stagnant and it's not moving the needle at all. And the thing about the jazz and the difference between jazz and hip hop, and I think Herbie Hancock said it best. The reason why jazz isn't as popular as those genres today is because jazz was built on slavery. And we have a different commitment to the music as opposed to what's presently being popularized.
Well, I tell you what, G, let's take us a break. Let them listen to some of the more music. Then we can come back.
Okay.
Is it any of Gary Fuson stuff?
Hey, it sounds like the Ray Mack show, huh?
I'm just looking at the time because
Yeah.
I think I got more questions to ask before we run out of time.
Right.
Listen to a little music. Oh, Yvonne, I'm in my home at my bar.
What, you inviting her over? No, I saw the chat. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And Henry Mixon of the chat said, "Keep talking, Vaughn. Don't give Mac any room or any word edgewise."
But
That's
yeah,
all
you
that
know,
love we got going on. Wow.
Okay, we'll
It's
go
up to
into
you,
a
Gary.
music break and we'll come back and chop it up some more. All right, with Von Coulter. So y'all keep it locked right here on the Indie Live Spot. We'll be right back.
Henry.
play my favorite view. Just a thought of loving you, yeah. You got me burning, baby, burning for you. Want you to tell me what you need. She said I need you to love me, to make my soul. Can't get much better, babe, better than your love. I'll tell the truth, I'll pass your test. On this round and round we go. I'll be the man who does the best as we take things nice and slow. Something about the way you pour into me, girl, you got me learning about you. I'm just a man that knows what he wants. She said I need you to love me to my soul. You can't get no better, baby, better than my love. She said I need you to love me to my soul.
You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
Yeah. Feels so good. Ooh, oh, yeah. Fragrance of a candle, the sweetest of wine. So sensual, a feeling so divine. There's no place I'd rather be. Just the thought of you next to me. A thrill consumes me through and through. I wanna tell the world and make you my boo. When you
in this whole world. I know this love is here to stay. Claim it, claim it, claim it. Oh, I want to, yeah. Claim it, claim it. I want you, baby. You're my girl.
I could search the whole world over and never find anyone as sweet as you.
Baby, make it mine.
Don't you know? Oh, I love you, baby.
We're off the payment.
We've been kicking it for a very long time.
Since we got our groove, no one does me better, glowing like the moon above. Since we got our groove with my honey, filling up my soul with love. Since we got our groove, no one does it better, shining like the stars above. Since we got our groove, chilling with my baby, filling up my soul with love. Since we got our groove, no one does me better, glowing like the moon above. Since we got our groove, chilling with my baby, filling up my soul with love.
right. All right. We are back. And let's see here.
There you go.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I got caught up in your graphics, G. It looks so good
oh,
on air. Aw.
all right. Thanks. But we're back, and hope y'all enjoyed that great music we played while we took that music break there.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we continue on with Mr. Coulter.
Well,
Mark, give
Why
us
not?
give us a little background with the Quincy Jones organization that the community connected with the museum.
Right. Um, well, shortly after I became a charter member of the development crew, I felt as though it was something as a museum anybody would know you would have to have a lot of artifacts and collections to add to the material in order to you know have a museum be as thorough and as and an integral part of the education of whatever it is the venture is into. And what else could I do? I found out years ago that Quest TV, a subsidiary of Quincy Jones, Quest Productions, has a web page and a site that you can go to actually subscribe to see all of the archived jazz concerts, documentaries, um, old clips of classic. This was music video before music video was famous in the '70s and the '80s with MTV. You had Ellington doing videos. You had Count Basie. You had
mm-hmm.
Billy Eckstein. You had all of these artists that were being filmed on actual black and white films,
Mm-hmm.
with their concerts going on. Bix Beiderbecke, Paul Whiteman. You had all kinds of musicians doing these videos back then in the 30s and the 40s. Okay, big bands were being seen, and so Quincy has a just a massive collection of all of this information available.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And he has always said that universities, colleges, secondary education would have full access regardless of, it's free to them.
Mm.
And I said, well, my goodness, what a valuable source of information that would be for the museum.
Mm-hmm.
So I contacted their people and spoke with them for about a couple of weeks because they wanted to understand what our focus was as a museum and what we were going to do. And ours has always been on education, information, uh, um, in what's the other one? Information, education, inspiration, and entertainment. Those three categories would be exactly what this museum is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said we would love to, and they sent us back this huge document showing us exactly all the things that they would be able to take care of for us in terms of what their collection can do. And they had the little picture, a graphic of the two hands, Quest TV and the National African American Jazz Legacy Museum, had them shaking hands that we are now collaborating on this project. So
Nice.
I couldn't have been more overwhelmed by that because I didn't think anything was going to happen to it, once I put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But once it happened, I said, wow, what a collaboration that is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if any other museum has that. I really don't.
Right.
But I'm glad it's us.
That's really no doubt because see, there's a lot of museums out there, jazz museum. They got them up in Kansas City, Tulsa and thing. But this museum, that's let me say this: we had a church that we was gonna first put the museum in. It burned completely down when the money was put down. So we went out and looked for another area. So we found this church. It's it's like it was in an egg shape. Well, I'm talking about it had everything in it that we could dream of to want for this museum. Had staging, uh, had amphitheater. Uh, it would plus in there you had a big old area for fine dining. The whole nine. I'd be doggone. About a month ago, they tore it down.
I still
So
don't understand that.
hell, we don't either.
Yeah.
We don't
And
either.
maybe I do, and I'm in denial. But anyway,
Well, yeah, but we don't understand it. Because we didn't know what was going on. Next thing you know, it was on a Monday.
Right.
Start demolishing. So we had to go to Plan B again. Well, I guess it's gonna be C, right?
I start over.
So yeah, start all over. So we're looking for some land so you can build from the ground up, or the state has a building, and it's a pretty good sized building, and plenty parking the whole nine, and so it's up for sale. We know it's owned by the state. How much can we get this building for from the state, or whatever the case may be? Miss Rosetta Funches, she's working on that, so we can start housing this museum.
Right.
OU has already done the layout of everything. We got a pamphlet that we can distribute that is laid out. It's phenomenal.
But the blueprint that was laid out for the buildings, actually, or three of them that were torn down, will they have to revise that blueprint now for the museum?
Well, in some senses, yes, but in some senses, no.
Okay.
And things like that, because this other place is kind of used itself. But
Okay.
we want to go with some of the designs that's in there, and in the front of the museum, we put a ship out there with the belly of the ship. That's the slogan.
Right.
Come from the belly of the ship. Then everything else, you start coming hand in hand. But we got OU University involved with us, even with uh, the jazz festival they have every June. They look right along with us. So everything that we're getting together with this here, people are very welcome and don't mind helping us to get this
That,
thing kicked off. Just like we built a radio station, it's up and running, and the graphics, the website is up. Just a few more things they have to put in the website to, the Facebook page, group page is up, so you can go in there and join and everything else. But
what's the
also,
name of the group, Facebook group, so our listeners can go and join?
Gary, I leave that to Gary.
Oh well, it's KJLM,
Okay,
OKC,
KJLN
M.
yeah,
M. Okay.
yeah, that's where the radio station's at, but it's also taken to
There's that KJ again.
yeah, Oklahoma City. But it also will take you to the web page where you can go through the web page and look at everything in there. Plus, it's a video on the web page. It tells you about Oklahoma City. How did Count Basie get his orchestra all together? It came out of Oklahoma City with the Blue Devil. So it's going to give you a little history where this actually comes from, with Count Basie. So, I just hope, people will join, follow us or whatever we're doing on this group page. All you have to do is just go in there and join. I've been inviting people, and I invited quite a few people into there, and I was up this morning inviting people also. I can tell you, I know I saw Henry, and I haven't seen Yvonne yet. I think I saw Gia in there. that they joined. There's quite a few that I saw that was in there that has joined, but it's
I got a KJLM as in Mary Radio OKC.
OKC.
That's it.
That's it. But this whole thing is given the history of jazz and of that nature, to make sure to try to make sure that people know what this is all about. History, our history. And like I said, when I met Vaughn, I offered him to come on and help be the program director. You know,
Great choice.
so so we both get frustrated, but we keep on moving.
That's fact of life,
Oh, you
frustration.
ain't
I
lying.
can avoid that. That's
But
I wish we could avoid frustration, but it
but
happens.
he's really has a program the station with a lot of great music that's in there.
Hmm.
And the thing is, once he get back in, then he'll start separating like bebop, hard jazz, or whatever the case may be, commercial spots or whatever we need to do. Once we get it all finished, finishing up, and on the scheduling part of it. But right now, it's running
Mm-hmm.
24/7, and I guarantee you're gonna like the music. Then you can, if you scroll down, you can see at least 10 what has played before that person that you listen to. That's okay. Go ahead.
That was me. I looked up the station. Colleen said she didn't know about the web page. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to try because I think
I
you.
did too. I just put it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. I put
I
the
didn't see
website
it.
in the chat. Uh,
You
yeah,
sure?
yeah. It's right before Maryland.
Okay, the web. Okay, I put the name of the group in the chat and the link to the website. But if you get in the group, you'll see the link
Right,
to the website.
right. And it's NJ NAAJLM.org.
And that's N as in Nancy, y'all.
Right.
And it's look
And
in the chat. And
I have to give my partner that's sitting back there running the station. Uh, he put it all together, and I
who
just
is
supplied the information.
what is his name?
Mr. Gary Houston, G
There you
House,
go.
G House.
G.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, but yeah, like I said, the station's up and running, the website up, the group page is up. Just go and check it out. That's all we ask.
And now we need the building, the museum.
That's all we need is the building. Everything was in the planning stage because, like I said, shoot, the cost and everything is it's there. We have that, and like I said, both of these was churches. The first one burned down. The second one they tore down. We didn't know who,
Uh,
why, or what.
Did you ever? Were there any inquiries made when you were about to purchase the building? Were there inquiries made why they
It was
tore this building down?
kept it sealed. They didn't let us know who. Yeah, it was an inquiry, but
Who owns the property? The city, the
it's
church?
all the churches. The church owned the property because when we went in the first time, the
Mhm.
realtor, yeah, like he didn't want us to come in there. He didn't want us to
Is
see.
this the same realtor that wanted to charge you guys just to look at the property?
Yeah, yeah. But
Who does that?
I don't know. But we did have a chance to go in there, and it was so much room, and it was idea for everything that the OU had designed for that building. Everything. It was the ideal spot. It was right off the Broadway extension because you had the Cowboy Hall of Fame right there. You had a Cowboy Hall of Fame. You have the Kirkpatrick Planetarium. Then you have
Cowboy? Okay.
the Cowboy Hall of Fame, and then Kirkpatrick, the Planetarium. It was, then you had the 45th Infantry Museum there, and what else? Then down a little further, you have the Indian American Indian Museum. Then you had the down in Bricktown. You have the Banjo Museum. You know, and that's that. So you have those museums right there. That'll be in more for Oklahoma City since you have those features museums there. That's nothing but income for the city and everybody else. It's
That's
income.
nice. That's a seriously awesome project. I know we've been
Right.
talking about it on and off for what, 3 years now? 4 years?
No,
It's
about
been a
two,
minute.
about two, about two
About
and
two?
a half,
Okay.
about two. But
And but just hearing when you told me about they tour that, I
well,
was like, wow.
shit,
But you
I was
know,
sick.
God's got a better one for you. That's what I
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I was sick.
Now
I was sick. But
I
that's how it go.
know.
That's how it go. But like we toured the down in Bricktown. We toured the Banjo Museum. Okay, then, and
Mm-hmm.
when we went to the museum there, I guess the guy was showing us the tour. We saw they had some mannequins up there. It was a black man and a kid in there with the museum in there. Okay, then, and he was in overalls. Okay, then, and he was showing the kid how to play the banjo. But what got to me,
Mm-hmm.
the guy was touring us, didn't know where the banjo come from.
I didn't either though, Mac, until
Mm-hmm.
you told me. And that was what, last year?
Last year, they didn't know where the banjo come from. All they
Mhm.
know, see, the banjo.
Where does it come from,
It
Mac?
came out of Africa.
Africa.
Hmm.
It came straight out of Africa. The drums come out of
Mm-hmm.
Africa. The
Well,
flute,
that's, yeah.
the flute come
What?
out of Africa.
The flute?
The flute.
Hmm.
You know, all the instrumentation that we use here right today came straight out of Africa and different parts of Africa. Like a lot of, I picked up all those instruments in Tanzania, in the city of Dar es Salaam. But just traveling the countryside, they play all these different instruments. Like I said, what is it? The Morocco's like this here that
Hmm.
you see in the two, they be playing that.
Yeah, maracas. Yeah,
Huh?
the maracas. Yeah,
Hmm.
They be
That's right.
playing all of this.
yeah.
The music came out of
Mm-hmm.
Africa. That is why our slogan, out of the belly of the ships.
Yeah. And look what came out of pain.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
That's right. And
I say it like this, Joyce. I don't mean to cut you off, Ed, but I say it like this. The I was at the symposium for the at the symposium in Mississippi, and I asked the people that were in the audience. I said, this music, all of this music was created out of pressure,
Mhm.
and diamonds are made out of pressure.
Mm, mm,
Oh,
mm.
diamond is what is diamond before it becomes a diamond? What kind of stone is it?
It's a rough stone.
Yeah, what is it? What is it in its rawest form before it takes that on that gem of what we know as a diamond? What is it prior to that? It's coal.
Oh, okay.
It's coal.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And over time, in those coal mines or in those diamond mines in South Africa or all parts of Africa, they have those coal mines or diamond mines, and the coal is still in it. The diamond is still in that form, but pressure changes it to a diamond. So you can imagine what those people were under during that time period for 250 years, generation after generation, the pressure that was put upon them. What did they develop? Nothing but diamonds, gems.
Mm.
See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing.
you know,
And see,
That's
you got to
beautiful.
understand something that lets you understand something about our people
Right.
and what we have done under pressure for 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of this world, but I don't know any other group of people that have ever created as
Yeah.
much as we have created in 400 years.
I can say this. I can say this.
Amen, amen.
Africa itself is the
Mm-hmm.
wealthiest country in the world
Continent. Mm-hmm.
on that continent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like um, everybody been
You're
there,
right.
from the Portuguese to the Germans. Now the Chinese is trying to come in, but in a part of not Cameroon, but Ghana, they found, they found the gold mines, a vein of gold, a whole bunch of gold. But everybody's trying to get in there to get that gold. That ain't finna happen. They already said
Mm-hmm.
that's not finna happen. The United States and what's that other one? China. China is all off into there. You know, all the people want is the natural resources of their continent. And see, we
Mm-hmm.
came from the kings and queens. We are the true Jews. You know, and
Uh-oh.
we are the
Uh-oh.
beginning. We are the beginning, and we're the end. We are Alpha and Omega.
No, okay.
So
Preach, brother, preach.
I just hate it when the president called it a shithole country. It's not a shithole country. It's a beautiful country. The Africans, they not running around in the jungles and with spears and shit like that. They're not doing that.
Well, he wasn't a real president, so.
Yeah,
There you go.
but that's not happening. You know. Now, I have a couple of friends, that's over there that's doing things. They done set up tours for South Africa. I met a couple out of San Antonio, Texas, and both of them. She retired from Walmart. He retired from the military, and his son just walked off the job at HEB warehouse. He's over there to start his business
In Africa?
in Africa. The
Mm-hmm.
company, the country is very welcome. They want us, America, to come back to come back home, to come back home, because we have knowledge of certain, to build up the country. Because see, parts of the country is, they still have commerce and stuff, but they're still behind.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we have our cell phones here. Every month they have to buy GBs, $10, $20 GB. When they run out, they have to go buy some more. Water is a problem. Okay, the water's is always off. But it comes back on so they can clean the clothes and, boil the water so it can
Mm-hmm.
cook. Electricity. Shit. Boy, I tell you, that's the hardest part that I see. The water, the electricity may go off and be off for a day or two or something like that. But I didn't see what you see on TV, that the people in the area I was in wasn't starving. They would go on the street, buy chicken or buy beef or whatever, buy what they want. The produce and everything is grown right in that country. Everything we eat is there. It came from over there, like rice, you know, watermelon. Everything we eat comes from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Umbo.
That's why they call it the
Exactly.
motherland. That's right. But this is like I was saying, this is what this museum is all about: the history of the music, where it came from, and I just want people to come in and enjoy what we have put together. That Mr. Houston has put together for us the website and the web and the group page. Come in and join us. Invite your friends. I don't care if you invite the kitchen sink. If that kitchen sink can hit that button, I'm cool with that. Come in and enjoy us.
All right, Ray Ray. That's
I'm
good.
serious about this.
I know you are. I say it's good.
Shit.
And if I might add, and I'm saying this to Miss Spencer, who's here as well, to all the musicians that are tuning in this afternoon, and I'm glad you are, if you are. If you know a musician that you know wants to have his music played, please send it. Send it to me. Let me give you the email address. MP3 format. Von Coulter. That's one word. Von Coulter. VONCOULT. VONCOULTER .fm@gmail.com. Your music must be in MP3 form, and I would love to have it. We are launching if you are an independent artist, please send me your music. VONCOULTER .fm@gmail.com. We have a home for you at KJLM OKC.
All right.
Sounds just like a radio announcer. Very nice.
But yeah, like I said, everything that we've done it's been a challenge. But
Yeah.
the challenge, hell, we done had fun too.
Well, when you get your circle together, you help build each other, keep each other to get. It helps you stay in your right mind while you're going through a challenge. If you have the right people around you, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why when you were choosing working with Oklahoma to choose these people to come to be in your corner or work with you, it makes a big difference because there will be challenges. As like I told somebody, I've never played at a perfect wedding where everything went as planned. Never. I've never attended one or played at one that everything went as planned. But if you have the right people working together, you can make it happen. I played at a country club, outdoor gig. They didn't have the electricity, the country club, for me to plug into. So while the management was running to get a battery operated karaoke speaker, I just started serenading on my soprano sax, and they had no idea that something was wrong.
Let me say one thing. I just
They
saw
were like,
go.
oh, nice.
Let me say this one thing. I was looking at Colleen. She was asking how can I connect with you, Vaughn? Connect to you on Facebook.
Yeah, she said, how can we connect with Von Colt directly on Facebook? Colleen is the person to connect with. She's very involved
Right.
in the music.
Okay. All right. So she wants to know how to connect with me.
Yeah, do you have a
Just go to
Facebook page, Facebook account, group, things like that?
I do have a Facebook page. It is you'll have to go to, I have a couple of them to tell you the truth. I don't know how that happened, but maybe
You know how it happened. You built it.
She can go to she can go to Stephen LaVon Coulter. That is my full birth name.
Now, is Stephen Steven or PH?
No, with a V.
Okay.
VEN.
Okay.
LaVon, LAVON COULTER. You can go to that one, or you can just go to plain old Von Coulter at VONCOULTER.
Okay, I typed it in the chat, you guys, so you can see it there.
Okay.
You're a musician as well, aren't you? Real quick.
Yes, I had a history of playing in middle school, in high school, and some in junior college. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have to admit, I at some point I knew I wasn't going to make the grade when guys were just doing their improvisation skills were just unbelievable. I was like, oh, I can't compete against with this. But the tail of the tape was when I was in my high school days, and there was a young lady I went to high school with, and she was a couple of grades behind me, and she played the double bass, and even at that age, she was amazing. So I said, okay. So I started studying a little bit. I started playing a little double bass. And I told her that I wanted to learn the solo, the introduction. I don't remember. Does anybody remember the TV series Barney Miller?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Okay.
police.
Yeah.
They had the theme song for that sitcom was amazing. It started off with the guy on the double bass, and it was an amazing solo at the beginning. That's how it started off, and all of a sudden it just break into like this quartet just started breaking into the song. And I wanted to learn that solo so bad. So this young lady heard me practice and trying to play it, and she said, "Oh, I know that," and she started playing it, and it was like I was listening to the guy who composed the solo. And I was like, okay. So I took the bass, I put it in the corner and walked away. I said, I'm
Oh,
not.
but you shouldn't have. You should. You
I
know,
know,
you
I
know what
know.
the difference between
But the
you
thing
and
about
her?
it was,
Bit more time.
let
That's
me tell
all.
you, the young lady that did that is Nedra Wheeler. You ever heard of Nedra Wheeler on the
No.
West Coast? She was in the backup band behind Marla Gibbs at
Okay.
Marla Gibbs Jazz Club in L.A. She has played with um, Terry Lynn Carrington. She has played with uh, uh, the violinist, the sister that used to play with Yanni back in the day.
Oh.
Oh my gosh,
Karen.
her name is
Karen.
Is it Karen?
Karen Briggs.
Yeah.
Karen
Yeah.
Briggs
Hmm.
with Karen Briggs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
uh, uh, Nedra Wheeler has played with Patrice Rushen
Wow.
and many other folks on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I said if I ever meet Nedra again, she's going to have to play that Barney Miller bass line for me.
Oh, oh,
That's pretty
you
cool.
shouldn't have given it up.
But
I
she
mean,
has gone on to she's just a magnificent bassist, and she's doing
yeah.
incredible work now. Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, you
Very
could have done it
cool.
yourself. I still
I
tell
know.
people that person just spent more time. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess she did. I
Yeah,
agree with
I
you.
mean, because
She
when I
maybe put.
started college majoring in music, there were people way ahead of me. But I practiced up to
Mhm.
6 hours a day, and I put the time in.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
Right,
like, "How did
right.
you do that?" I said, "I focus." And I didn't play
There
flute
you go.
until like my third year in college. Focus,
Mm,
got it. I even played
mhm.
in a symphony orchestra after I graduated for about a year before I moved to Texas. But yeah, if you get focused, you can do it now. I know a lady in
But
her
my special,
70s learning to play the
but my
saxophone.
specialty was the trombone. Though I love the
Oh,
trombone.
really? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That was
nice.
my specialty.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my specialty. So the first time I heard Wayne Henderson, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to play like Wayne Henderson. You know, I wanted to play like not so much J.J. Johnson, but it's just Wayne Henderson the way he had it. I was like, and I was a Crusaders fanatic. I
Mm,
was, I love the Crusaders back in the day.
Yeah.
I still love
hmm.
them now, but it's just wow, yeah.
Okay.
That trombone said a lot for me.
Well, it's
I know,
that
Gary, you're
time.
trying to take us out of here, right?
It's time. It's past time right now. So,
Oh,
all right,
we done went over.
we went over. So,
Over.
but man, it was
But you know what?
enjoyable to
That's a good
hear.
over.
That was
Yeah.
my fault. I had to ask about his music background. We couldn't leave without knowing that, right?
Right.
I
Right.
mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
But Gary, I'm going to give a quick shout out to the people in the chat.
Go right ahead.
Uh, I'm going to go fast, you guys. Henry Mixon, Jazzy K. Ward, Colleen Keithley. Oh, by the way, Colleen Keithley said she sent you a friend request. Vaughn.
Okay.
Jessica, Marilyn Ford, Jessica Single from Africa, LG Williams, Yvonne J. and Gia Hyatt, Sissy Gia Hyatt. Hey, girl. And Westbound. What country is he from? You guys, I forget.
Germany.
Germany. Yes, from Germany.
What's up, Wes?
Welcome. Thanks for being here today. And for all of you who are listening and you don't want to be in the chat line, that's really okay. Thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. And that's my exit. That's all, because I know we're over time. Thank you.
Well,
thank you, Juan. Enjoy.
Joyce, I'm following your music and entertainment page, by the way. So you.
Oh, thank you. All right, appreciate that.
I'm trying to write this check out for my maid.
We really needed to know that.
See, I told you.
Just
will give you some most irrelevant,
just
information
random.
You ever.
Just random.
It's the word random.
So random. Okay. Okay, y'all. Well, y'all have a great weekend. We're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. Thank you, Vaughn, for coming and hanging out with us.
My
It was a pleasure
My
to
pleasure,
have you
Gary.
on. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, brother. I appreciate all the wealth that you provided with us, man, and just keep bringing it to the table for us. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
And you too, as well, Vaughn.
Yes, indeed. Okay, everybody. Well, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next week here, right here at the same place, same time. And I will post our guest for next week's show, so y'all just be looking out for that. All right.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
In the words of one Mr. Lamont Sanford, Odabo Jack.
I love it. All right, y'all. See you.
Bye-bye.
About to fall down. And put your hands together, gang, for Don Cornelius. He came out there. It's time now, gang, for the Soul Train Scramble Board. You remember that Soul Train Scramble Board? You don't see that no more. Hey.